Jeffrey B. Healing Shame, November the 9th. I call myself Animal J at the beginning, right? In the intro. Why would I say something like that? Well, this episode is going to be a follow-up to the short video I made about initiation. Okay. This is about initiation and rites of passage in the United States of America. Now, just to jump right in and just to, spoiler alert here, I was generally uninitiated. I'm an uninitiated boy trapped in a man's body. Basically, I didn't receive the full on initiation from my subculture the way I grew up. And so, therefore, I didn't really get to develop into a man. I did an adult. And so, therefore, in some cultures, they call that I'm an animal, I'm unconscious. It's about healing shame, so I kind of take that tongue in cheek a little bit, okay? We're all animals, right? Now, let's just talk firstly, let's open it up with what I mentioned before. So many different cultures have their own versions of initiation and rites of passage for the young men, for the boys to become men, to transition into adulthood, into manhood. And of course, the goal being to separate from the mother, to become a man, to not be bogged down by that over dependence on the mother and things of that nature. If you're ever in need of any good citations or where I'm getting some of this from, Marie-Louise Von Franz, Marie-Louise Von Franz, and Robert Bly, Iron John. So Marie-Louise Von Franz talks a lot about separating from the symbolic mother, breaking free, and then Iron John, which is a book by Robert Bly. Joseph Campbell ties into this as well, and then you got Ernie Kurtz. So around that era, those guys who were writing about different things like this, you can find a lot more information in there as well, probably along with John Bradshaw and stuff. So I just want to talk about my own experience with attempted initiation when I was a boy, when I was growing up. One of the first ones I remember was when I was about 9 or 10 years old. Maybe even before that, there was another one, but I'll mention maybe it's not exactly in the right order. But one of those was when my grandfather and grandmother, mostly my grandpa's idea, bought me and my younger brother BB guns. And in my family system, becoming a man meant learning how to shoot because my grandfather had guns, rifles, shotguns, handguns, pistols, and I'm from Southern Indiana, and so learning how to shoot as a white man, not like in the ghetto shooting. That's a different kind. We're talking about learning to shoot, possibly learning how to hunt. Okay, shooting target practice, shooting animals and things to hunt and eat them later. This is all part of the culture I grew up in. And the first step was to learn how to fire, aim left, and hold your breath, right? That's how Grandpa taught. Aim a little left slightly and hold your breath and don't let out until after you fired that shot. These are little things I learned from him when he was teaching us how to shoot those BB guns. Now, somewhere along the way, my younger brother and I had done something. We got the guns taken away. I loved shooting the BB gun. Got a little bored, but started shooting my GI Joe men with it. Cans, lots of beer cans, shooting a lot of soda and beer cans. I really actually loved the sound when the BB ripped through the can. That was great, a blast. So I had fun with that, and somewhere along the way, like I said, the guns got taken away as punishment and then were put under my parents' bed, and so we weren't able to access them anymore. We actually still have those out at the house, those original BB guns from like 35 years ago. So that was part of the initiation that was attempted. It kind of got cut short, and then later on, there was no movement or progression into firing real guns due to probably my mom's anxiety and worry and fear about it. So we were never taught how to shoot the rifle or the shotgun. And also, we never went hunting. When my stepfather came into the picture, we never went hunting with him or my grandfather. Those were all rites of passage that were blocked for certain reasons, for whatever reasons. And so those would have been my initiation acts that didn't get to go to fulfillment, successful fruition, unfortunately. There were other ones I've written down here. There was my biological father, my father's attempt to get us to learn how to ride the dirt bikes. There was a lot of fear there as well from my mom about if we would crash or get hurt or whatever. So that we weren't allowed to ride the dirt bikes. At least I wasn't. I don't think me and my younger brother could ride. My older brother learned, but me and my younger brother didn't learn how to ride. I think if we did, it was very limited. So that was blocked. Um, there was that going on, and then another one that was not blocked, which was good, was my stepfather taught us how to do hard work outside. This was an initiation, a rite of passage that taught us how to be men, how to carry, how to use our muscles, how to work hard, toil, sweat. I hated it, and I copped out of a lot of the activities if I could, some of the times to play video games or whatever, or just to get away from. I didn't want to do hard work. I was lazy, and I didn't like it. But it was a rite of passage. So that was encouraged, and we were able to do that. All me and my two brothers, we all got initiated that way by my stepdad. That was a good initiation. Um, basically what they're trying to do here is instill in us good work ethic, like hard work pays off. And then the other one I wanted to mention about initiation, rite of passage was, of course, it turned out to be by a friend, um, and it was masturbation. He taught me how to use my hand to masturbate. That could have been done by a caretaker, by a parent, of course, maybe not necessarily demonstrating technically how to do it, but at least talking about it. It was never talked about. That came about through my friend, and he was still figuring out things himself. So that probably wasn't the best person to teach me how to masturbate, but that's where it came from. Didn't come from older brother, no. Came from a friend. Um, and then another one was learning how to drive. See, I wasn't a good driver. When I started learning how to drive, my grandpa took me and my stepfather. And I wasn't good. I needed a lot of help, a lot of assistance, a lot of practice. My mom or somebody, maybe all of them were scared. So they stopped teaching me. And instead, they turned it over and let me learn and get my practice in driver's ed class when I was about 16. Before that, I didn't have any other opportunities. And so part of the reason why I didn't get my license until I was 18 as opposed to 16, because I just didn't have the practice. I did ask, but I just didn't get it because I drove off the road. Like I said, I just wasn't good at it. Now I'm an excellent driver. I'm like a grandma driver. I'm so fucking safe. But then it just wasn't accepted that I needed a lot of practice, so I didn't get the license till later. What can I say also? I mean, my boys inside, not getting to hunt with my stepdad or grandpa because my mother was opposed to killing animals, and not getting to get my license on time, not getting to shoot the shotgun or the rifle, not getting initiated into manhood, into adulthood, in what I grew up in Southern Indiana culture, that set me behind. And it didn't let me really do the same thing that all the other boys were doing when they were growing up with their grandpas and their dads. So I got my emotional development was stunted, and my boys inside, my children, my inner children, are angry about this. Now I know why they walk around all the time pissed off, because they got cheated. We got cheated out of being initiated, out of becoming a man. out of adulting. We got cheated out of that. So they're angry. Of course they are. They have a right to be. They have a right to be angry about that. So the question is, what do we do about it now? And I'm not going to get into all the solutions here. I just wanted to talk, but there are solutions. There are things you can give back to your children that were robbed. One of them is I bought a pistol. You can see my 9mm. And that's probably one of the reasons I lashed out at those clowns who criticized me for the way I was over the arm shooting, was because I never got to do that as a kid anyway. And I intentionally chose to shoot it over my arm, but their ridicule really triggered me big time. So I had to attack them. I knocked their ass down and blocked the damn comments, little faggots. So anyway, there's still a lot of anger inside, and part of it is because of being prevented from adulting. So now I've got to make up for that time where my kids didn't get to do those things. I've got to give them that now. That's the only way. First of all, we got to grieve the loss. That's huge. That's a way to heal. You got to grieve the loss. And then you got to give them what they weren't given. That's going to take time. And I got to go home to give that to them. And that's why another reason I'm going home. There's a hard video to do because I already did one earlier, and I'm hungry, haven't eaten all day, right? Self-destructive behavior, another learned thing. But I just wanted to share with you that there are ways to fix this. Get with your therapist, get with your inner children, let them talk about it, give back to them what they were robbed of, what they were cheated of. And, but don't be angry at the people who did that because they didn't know any better. That's the thing too. We're not blaming anybody here. Don't blame anybody. Don't be angry with them. The kids can be angry, but they don't need to take it out on anybody else. It is what it is. It happened, and people were given the only thing they learned. If they learned anxiety and fear, then they were going to act with anxiety and fear. And with my whole family situation, I got to remember my mom grew up in a family of girls. And they never learned how to shoot guns and stuff. If they did, it wasn't expected of them as girls. So my mom was given fear and anxiety and worry from her mom. And so she had boys, and she had a lot more to worry about with the boys. So I get it. I understand. I'm not angry about that. It just is what it is. Not blaming. I'm just stating the facts. And my kids are a little upset about this. And so I'm going to work with them and try to push forward on doing the next right thing here. So that's all I have for you. Until next time, all the best. Bye.